Welcome back to mckilliplife. My name is Amber and I'm in the living room. Today I'm going to be introducing my third project, which is going to be a baby blanket, and more than likely I won't be publishing these videos until after the blanket's done because I want it to be a surprise for the person I'm making it for. So let me show you the colors I'm working with. So the baby blanket's going to be composed of these 4 colors. We don't know if it's a girl or a boy, so this I think is a nice neutral palette that can go either way. It's very soft, and this is all Lions brand yarn, and so it's going to be composed of squares. So this will be one square and this will be another square, and they'll be, depending on how big I can make the squares, will determine, well, it's really a question of how big I can make the squares. So this will be my first project doing Tunisian in the round. And it's kind of funny, it's in the round, but we're making squares. And with this, we actually use a double-sided needle. So there's a needle hook there as well as there. And on one side, you do your forward pass, on the other side, you do your return pass. And this is so far the beginning of my first square. It looks a little bit crazy. 4 little markers showing the 4 corners, where the 4 corners are as it's growing. The base color is a brown color, and then the return pass yarn is in that variegated color. So what I was saying, I need to do this first square and see how big I can make the squares. So this is only as big as my needle is. I can cram some stitches on there, but obviously if I'm trying to do a baby blanket, it needs to be bigger than that. So my understanding with doing anything in the round on a double-sided needle, it all depends on how big your needle is. So first, I need to finish one square and see how big it is, and then that'll help me determine how many squares the blanket will have and how much yarn I'm going to need to do. I'm wanting this to be kind of crib size, so we'll see. I'll keep you updated. I have an update on my third project, which is a baby blanket. Originally, I said that I was going to be working on Tunisian in the round. This is how far it's come on my first square. I'm trying to see how big of a square I can make on this double-ended hook. And I don't like this pattern. I don't think it's pretty. Definitely not for a baby. It really reminds me of spider webs. So I have changed my mind. So I'm going to pull out this square. At least I know that I can do it if I ever want to do it. And I'm going to do a blanket in a honeycomb pattern, which is a pretty simple stitch. It's just a simple stitch followed by a purl. You just alternate that all through the rows. And then to make it interesting, I'm going to do, I think it's called an Entrelac blanket. You basically make little squares of different color and then you stitch them together, and you're stitching them together as you're crocheting each square. It's not like make a bunch of squares and then stitch them together. You're making squares and stitching them together all in one go. So I'll put up a picture of what one of those blankets look like so you can see I think it's beautiful. It's very playful looking. And the videos I've seen of these, they're all of a simple stitch, but I don't see any reason why it can't be a honeycomb stitch. Because I think a honeycomb stitch, like this one, would add some nice detail. Make it look a little bit more fancy. So that's my current plan, and I will update you as I go. Thank you for joining me today in the living room, and I hope your day is going well. This is a new channel, so please consider liking and subscribing.